from our point of view, Hospital Without Walls is just that. It's the ability for hospitals to deliver services where you're not bound by the physical location of the hospital. I think that's been a dream for years, and it's been an elusive dream. But I think the technology stack now allows us to do that. And we're delighted to work with all manner of hospitals, from rural to urban hospitals, to solve for that very issue.
For me, it enables something phenomenal. At the heart of every person in healthcare is the relationship between them and the patient. And we want to take that relationship and change it completely. Today, the relationship is transactional. They get ill, they come to us to solve that problem, we solve it, they pay for the services, and they come back at a predetermined time or a episodic moment when they are ill again. That is not the way that we want to run that. We want to be with them the entire time. And so the technology now is here where we can offer them additional services, many services, to help them have a healthy life all the way through. We can monitor their health. We can see what they personally, so high personalization, what they personally want to achieve, provide those services, onboard other vendors, are part of an ecosystem of other caregivers that just don't quite work like we do, that can provide additional services for nutrition, for other things, so that we can monitor them and provide them the care no matter where they are. So it not only extends to the rural environment, but it follows them everywhere that they go. I kind of equate that to, I'm ready to move. It's the most traumatic thing in the world, moving from a house that you've been in for 20 years and going to a new house. Is it really necessary to add to that trauma by saying, I now have to get somebody I've known, have a relationship, and have that be part of my stress? And the answer is no, because now the technology is there to make that person with you, to unlock the data that already exists and share it with providers wherever you're at any time that's necessary, but also to have the familiar providers, their face, their voice, their care, their knowledge, and their style that you're used to provide that care wherever you're at. That's what I think this means to me.
I think historically, Hospital Without Walls has been compartmentalized to just remote patient monitoring and care. And when we think about what Hospital Without Walls can be, it opens up a completely different paradigm on how to deliver that care. An isolated recovery environment is a DR practice that Epic recommends as a best practice. So think of it this way. If there was, God forbid, a breach to a hospital, but the hospital needs to have the ability to continue its operations. And an IRE allows Epic in the cloud to function in that scenario. And from a T-Mobile point of view, what we then supplement is, think of it as an isolated recovery network, which then powers the clinical communications and other data services that's required for a hospital.
So when I think of IRE, I think about that it covers the one place that we are somewhat lacking when we think about our recovery platforms. When there's an event, we try and recover the things that we know that have been breached. Well, let's say that it was a ransomware attack. We're going to recover the system that we have. We're going to recover the data that was in question. But then we go to the network and we're going to use the old network. That's the typical things that we do. But it can be somewhat like taking a clean dish and put it into dirty dishwater, because you do not know if that network is impacted or not. Has it been compromised? The good thing about IRE, as John was just talking about, is it's now a clean, air-gapped, pristine network. So now you know without question that you've got a pristine environment. You put the two halves together, the data, the platform, and now the network. So I think it's a great thing.
Strategic cost optimization is a program where we help organizations, but particularly hospitals, find dollars to invest into transformation. Hospitals today are under a lot of financial pressure. And so when you think about adopting new technologies or adopting transformational agendas, the difficulty is finding those dollars. And so our process is a proprietary process that allows organizations to, for us to bring in CMDB data, TEMS data, candidly, cabinet file data, and give the hospital a forensic view of their network assets. And by doing so, allow hospitals to make intelligent decisions on how to re-architect and find savings. So we're delighted to work with hospitals of all sizes to do just that.